Hi, my name is Ashley Luer, and I chose to use Catherine Kolkaba's theory of comfort for my project. Catherine Kolkaba was born in 1944 in Cleveland, Ohio. Unfortunately, there's not any childhood information or family life published for her, but after high school, she did attend a school of nursing at St. Luke's Hospital, where she graduated in 1965 as a nurse. From there, she went and worked in long-term care, home health, hospice. She had some experience in the operating room and post-op nursing care. She later decided she wanted to go on and um, attend Case Western Reserve University, where she obtained her master's in nursing in 1987. And then 10 years later, in 1997, she was able to obtain her doctorate as well. Her education specialties include gerontology, end of life care, comfort, and nursing research and theory. In her early years of nursing and long-term care, she worked heavily with dementia patients, and that is what she attributes to kind of spurring on her interest in developing this comfort theory. The theory of comfort really defines what comfort really is and the importance of assessing for overall comfort and then also employing appropriate interventions to help with that. Her theory addresses the fact that improved comfort will provide improved outcomes, and we'll see better healing if our patients are comfortable. This theory applies to many different patient populations, ages, different types of nursing, different types of places in life in health and recovery, and also providing comfort at the end of life as well. This is a mid-range theory. It just really focuses on the importance of overall comfort and not just assessing for pain level, because pain level is very incomplete in the whole picture of comfort. So this theory of comfort lends to, amongst many other things, lends to being able to provide a peaceful death for your patient as well. There are 4 nursing concepts that are essential to a nursing theory. First of those is a person. So Catherine Kolkaba, she defined the person in her theory as any recipient of care. She states that that recipient of care can be your patient, it can be your family member or their family members, the facility, the nurse, any community members, anybody that is there that may need some sort of intervention. That's part of the whole picture. The next concept is environment. That's the place where the recipient is receiving the care. Anything in the environment can be manipulated by the nurse or any other caregiver to improve comfort level. And those changes are based on the recipient's needs, the recipient's request, the recipient's definition of what that comfort should look like. the next concept is health. The definition of health, according to Kolkaba, is optimal functioning, and of course, again, that's optimal functioning of any of the anybody that is the recipient of care, which again will include patient, family, healthcare providers, community members, whoever that might be. The comfort level. Or the health, even the health is defined by the person. It's subjective. How do they define health? How are we going to access that or help them access that? And then lastly, the concept of nursing, defined by Kolkaba. It's a specific focus on assessing for comfort. Currently in nursing, it's standard of care to assess pain. I know at least every shift, but more frequently than that. It's so ingrained in us that we do it routinely. A lot of times hospitals have protocols in place that state that we should be assessing pain levels on hourly rounding, along with many other things. But reassessing, implementing interventions, and those types of things are all included in her definition of nursing. Unique concepts to this theory. First one being, what is comfort? Comfort is so much more than just assessing for pain. Pain level is very incomplete when we're talking about a big picture of comfort. Types of comfort are physical, psychospiritual, sociocultural, and environmental. And I have a chart here on my slide that shows you an example of a post-op patient. And there's 3 ideas of comfort here that's laid out in that chart. Relief, ease, and transcendence. Relief is the kind of the symptom that we are trying to correct. So here, for example, we've got abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. So then we move on to the ease column, and it shows kind of our intervention that may assist in relieving those symptoms. So it shows comfortable resting, repositioning, possibly a PCA for pain. And then you go over to transcendence, the last column here. That kind of is our goals for what we're expecting to happen with our symptom, the intervention that we're employing, and then what is the goal that we're expecting to happen. Second concept here that's unique to this theory is health-seeking behaviors. Kolkaba is stressing to promote those to your patients as well as family members. Anybody, again, that would be your recipient of care. Sometimes these health-seeking behaviors may be conscious, or sometimes they might be unconscious as well. But the goal of all of it is that we're seeking improved well-being. Assumptions that were identified by Kolkaba in her theory. Original four. Human beings have holistic responses to complex stimuli. Comfort is a desirable holistic outcome that is germane to the discipline of nursing. Human beings strive to meet or to have met their basic comfort needs, and comfort is more than the absence of pain, anxiety, or other physical discomfort. Later on, there was more studying and more contemplation, and so she went ahead and added on 2 more assumptions. First being, patients who are empowered to actively engage in health-seeking behaviors are satisfied with their health care. And the second one, second add-on, is institutional integrity is based on a value system oriented to the recipients of care. Of equal importance is an orientation to a health-promoting, holistic setting for families and providers of care. And propositions or goals that were identified by Kolkaba in her theory are listed here. A couple of them being: nurses identify comfort needs of patients and their family members, especially those needs that have not been met by existing support systems. Nurses design interventions to address needs. Patients and nurses agree on desirable and realistic health-seeking behaviors, and so on. Limitations I found with this theory, one being that pain is subjective, so comfort levels would also be subjective, and much more comprehensive than just a pain level, because pain would most generally be referring to a physical pain that we're looking to address, and not so much psychosocial or sociocultural or environmental comfort standards. Pain or comfort is always defined by the patient and not the caregiver. Another limitation of this theory was that the comfort theory is simplistic and generalized. And then again, really assessing comfort requires more than just pain control. How does the theory relate to nursing practice? Comfort is a quality measure, so we're already doing really good about attempting to reach pain control, improving the patient's comfort. We're routinely assessing for pain throughout nursing practice, and even housekeepers and anybody that enters the room should be more or less assessing the patient's comfort and needs, like on hourly rounding. Usually most hospitals have that protocol. Something that's lacking in our nursing practice would be that pain control is just incomplete. It's not enough to cover overall comfort. So we need to be more comprehensive in our assessments. And we are able to provide, I believe, fairly adequate comfort measures in the dying process. At least according to our outside assessments. We can't experience it for the patient. And then, how does the theory relate to nursing education? Nursing school does well with covering pain and pain interventions. Pain is referred to many times as the fifth vital sign, so it's just kind of ingrained in our brain to assess for pain. If we're asking the patient, or if we're observing for signs of discomfort or pain, these things and interventions are covered extensively in nursing school. So I think we're doing a fairly good job there. How does the theory relate to nursing research? I've see some kind of holes in our that we could work on to improve. Effective pain control versus substantial improvement in comfort. Changing the verbiage, I think, would lend a hand in improving this idea throughout healthcare, throughout nursing. Just referring to assessing comfort instead of assessing pain. Next would be effective pain control or comfort level, correlating with improved overall outcomes. Keeping more comprehensive data on the correlation between the two, so we can know and increase our evidence-based practices in that way. Lastly, improve the assessment process of the comfort level to include more than physical. So we're assessing the physical pain, but also the other aspects, the psychosocial, sociocultural, and environmental.